What's going on, traders? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, just like I promised yesterday, I want to talk a little bit more about this e-tips ebook that I made. And the really cool thing about this is that it's free. Is it free and you have to pay for shipping and handling? No, it's absolutely for free. And after this video, all you have to do is click that first link below and I'm going to send you the ebook through Facebook. If you don't have Facebook, then make a Facebook and I'll send it to you. It's that simple. But all I really want to talk about are, there's a 3-page e-tip ebook that I put together. And the whole purpose of these e-tips, right, has to do with my day trading approach. Let's go ahead and get started. Once you open up the e-tips ebook, that's a PDF, right? The first thing that you'll see is the focus, right? And the reason that I view this to be the focus areas is I have 3 focuses, right? 3 goals every single time before I take a position. 3 focuses that each and every single trade has to meet. The first thing is direction. I want to make sure that I'm growing my account. So I want to focus on stocks and patterns that are showing signs of growth. I also have a very huge focus on patterns. And the reason that this is so important to me, how many of you guys sometimes feel forced to take a position as soon as the market opens? But there's not much patterns to go off of for that specific day alone. Yesterday was another day, and it doesn't mean that it has to continue to trade that same way. So the pattern and the direction might be a little bit different. So in this e-tip ebook, one of the tips that I had that has really helped me out is that give time for a pattern to identify its true direction. So instead of taking a position right away within the first 15 to 30 minutes of the market open, how many of you guys have ever been put in a position where if you simply would have waited 15, 20, 30 minutes, you would have seen the pattern and you would have seen the direction, and it probably would have not been something that you wanted to, take a position on. It's that simple. So again, just being patient and giving it more time when it comes down to understanding the pattern. The other thing that I get into detail is the margin of profit, opportunity cost. I want to make sure that I'm very efficient and effective with the trades that I take. Something that I've been working on, right? And I've been trading for years. Something that I've been working on recently is trying to minimize the amount of day trades that I take within a day. And again, I'm not under the PDT rule. Some of you guys might be, meaning that you can only take 3 day trades within a 5-day period. So this should empower you to be that much more selective with what you choose to trade. So make sure that every single time that you take a position, right, if you see value in this tip, that the margin of profit is worth it, that you don't just go for anything that offers 0.5% or 1% with a 1% risk as well, but to make sure that the opportunity cost is worth the time and the effort to be selective. Now going into the second page, you're gonna get into the action. And why is it called the action? Well, this is the buying, this is the selling, and this is kind of that whole thought process. So this is where the fun happens. So when it comes down to buying, one of the things that I had a huge focus on is I'm known to average up, meaning that I don't fully buy in with my entire account size in one trade. How many of you guys do that? But then how many of you guys end up stop lossing out because it changes direction? The way that I do it, and I'm not saying that this is the perfect way to do it, it just makes sense to me, is I want to make sure that I get a good deal. We're viewed as deal hunters. And the example that I give in this e-tips ebook is how important it is to make sure that you do get a good deal for my initial buy. So I split my buys into 3 sets. My first set is where I view there to be a support and a good deal. So I go in with 33% of what my overall account size or desired position size is. And if and only if it confirms an uptrend and the pattern that I originally saw value in, right? So if it begins to show signs of growth, then I'll begin to add more to my position size. That simple. But guess what? It doesn't always go according to plan. So if things begin to go south, right, then I can manage my risk, I can cut losses, and my loss is only a fraction of what it could have been if I was fully invested. Think about it. Now, before getting into selling, I make a huge point to be efficient with both your buys and your sells. This is something that I wanted to make sure that I cover because so many people are just so willing to trade anything. The reason that I find it to be so important to emphasize the idea of being efficient is so many people are so focused on thinking that there is a set time within the day that is the best time to trade. And all I want to remind you is that, what is a perfect position or what does a perfect setup look like for you? If you can't make up what that looks like, it probably means that you're probably not ready to take a position. And if you can visually see what an ideal setup looks like for you, and it doesn't have to be the same. We're all wired in different ways, but whatever that looks like for you, begin to write it down. Make sure that you wait for the opportunity to present itself and do not chase the trade. Now, when it comes down to selling, especially if you're part of the Learn Plan Profit group, you know how important it is for me to lock in profits or to keep losses small. The easiest way for me to explain what the eTips ebook says is I will sell at any indication of a resistance, regardless if I'm up or down, regardless of my desired sell point, regardless of how much I want something to go up or how much money I want to make. If there is an indication of a resistance, I will close my position. Why? Because my goal long-term is to stay consistently green. So I know that my hopes and my desires for how that stock plays out is completely irrelevant. What is relevant and what is important is for me to pay attention to the patterns, because that's what I'm trading. So if I see that there begins to show signs of a resistance or a change of direction, then I need to make sure that my actions speak louder than my thoughts and my words. And that is exactly what I try to emphasize when it comes down to when to sell. It's you sell when it makes sense, not when you necessarily want to. Let me know what you think about that. Now, the last page is my final thoughts. I think that we can both agree that when it comes down to day trading in the stock market, there's mindset and there's also the emotional aspect. So I cover two things. Confirmation. Confirmation, I think, is one of the single most ignored, whatever it is that you want to call it, like best practice in the stock market. It's that simple. Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They do not have to. But how many times have you taken a position before confirmation? So based off previous patterns, there's support at $10. It comes back at $10. You're like, hey, it makes sense that it can bounce here. I'm gonna buy right now. How many of you guys just go for the buy? But then what happens? It can continue to sell off. Don't ever think that you have it figured out. It's a huge kind of just obstacle that just people are so micro-focused on where they're at right now that they're not thinking big picture. And in this section of the eTips ebook, I cover how important it is to understand that what you're trading with today is not what you can be trading with down the road. Think about it. How much are you trading with right now? Think about building experience, confidence, and a track record. Do you think that you're going to be trading with that same account if you begin to experience success? No, you're going to begin to trade with much more. So why are you trading to profit right now and not trading to learn? My sole recommendation for someone that is just getting started, that I wish I was told when I first got started, is you should be trading to learn, not trading to profit. You're not at a point where you have a proven working system. Please understand that it's about finding a working system for you that's going to take time. You practice all these different best practices, all these different systems, all these different concepts, and you find your own trading style. And once you find that, once you find something that works for you, you refine it, you practice it, and then you scale. And at that point is where then I would begin to trade to profit and not trade to learn. And again, I mean, the trading to learn is something that I think that we always have to keep in the back of our heads. At least for myself, I'm always learning new things. I'm always putting myself to the test. And I think that's one of the things that I enjoy most about the stock market is that, we're always put to the test every single day with discipline, with our best practices, and how consistent we can be with these set principles that we set for ourselves. So I'm here to remind you again, and these series of tips that I'm giving you today are not tips that you should copy step by step. You are not me and I am not you. We are all wired in different ways. I want you to take, even if it's just one phrase, one sentence, or one word that I talk about and cover in these e-tips, and if you think it helps you, then begin to practice it. And if it works for you, then great, then refine it to your own trading style. But my goal is for you to become a self-sufficient trader. I think that's what makes, the Learn Plan Profit team so great. It's not about wanting to be me. It's not about wanting to copy my trades just because you get to watch me trade live. It's about understanding my thought process, how I made sense of a trade, and what led to my success and how I did that. It's not, can I copy you doing that? It's how you did that so I can do that on my own. Again, is your goal to copy someone for the rest of your life, or is your goal to become self-sufficient so you don't need anyone? I don't need anyone when it comes down to my trading. And I think that we can both agree that that is your goal as well. So again, all I ask you to do is to take these tips, read them, understand them, and branch off of them, not copy them. And I really hope that you can at least have one positive takeaway from these e-tips. Again, all you have to do is pay shipping and handling. Totally kidding. All you have to do is click that first link below. It's absolutely for free. And then I'm gonna send you the e-tips ebook through Facebook Messenger, and it's that simple. So I really do appreciate you guys' time. Also do wanna send you a huge friendly reminder that if you guys have not joined our free Facebook group, that's going to be that second link in the description. And I think that we can both agree that you're probably going to have extra time this weekend. And I think that with this extra time this weekend, if and only if you feel like you are ready, maybe you can begin to dive in and fully become familiar with the stock market. You heard me talk about them in this video. It's the Learn Plan Profit group. And again, that's the only group that I work with every day. It's the only group that has access to the full Learn Plan Profit course, and the only group that gets to exclusively watch me trade live every single day. So after you download your e-tip ebook, after you join our free Facebook group, all I ask you, you have extra time this weekend, to dedicate 5 minutes. Click that third link down below, watch the videos, and learn a little bit more about the Learn Plan Profit group and to see if it's a good fit for you. I'm gonna give you a $40 off coupon down below for those that wanna take action and join our team, and I'll be trading live with you as soon as Monday at market open. I really do appreciate your guys' time. I really hope that I earned your thumbs up, and if you guys can, it would be amazing if you guys can join our team, the largest YouTube channel for those who trade in the stock market, by clicking that subscribe button. I really do appreciate your guys' time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.